You wake up already tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. The kind that sits behind your eyes like a weight no one else can see. You check your phone, scroll, laugh at something, feel nothing. You go to work, you perform, you say the right things, you hit the targets. You come home, you eat, you watch something, you go to bed. And somewhere in the middle of all that normal, a quiet question keeps tapping on the glass. Why does everything feel so empty? Not sad, not broken, just hollow. Like you're living inside a life that looks complete from the outside, but sounds like an echo chamber on the inside. You felt it for months, maybe years, and every time you try to name it, the words slip away. Because how do you explain emptiness to someone who's never felt it? They'll tell you to practice gratitude, or go outside more, or just be positive, as if the problem is that you forgot how to smile. But you know better. You've tried the gratitude lists. You've taken the walks. You've smiled on command, and the hollow feeling just sat there, patient, waiting for the performance to end. Here's the part nobody talks about. You can have a good job, a decent apartment, friends who text you back, a relationship that mostly works, plans for the weekend, and still feel like you're watching your own life through a window. You laugh at the right moments, you nod in conversations, you post the photos, but inside, there's a strange distance, like the volume on everything has been turned down just enough that nothing quite reaches you. You start wondering if something is wrong with you. Maybe you're depressed and don't know it. Maybe you're ungrateful. Maybe you're just not built for happiness the way other people seem to be. So you dig deeper. You read the self-help books. You try the morning routines. You buy the journal. You tell yourself, this time will be different. And for a week or two, it almost is. Then the flatness returns. Quiet, familiar, undefeated. You start avoiding certain questions, the ones that show up at 1 a.m. when the house is too quiet. Am I actually happy? Or am I just busy enough that I don't have to answer? Is this what adult life is supposed to feel like? Or did I miss a turn somewhere? You look at people who seem full of life and wonder what secret they were handed that you never got. They talk about passion like it's a switch you can just flip. They talk about purpose like it's sitting in a drawer waiting for you to open it. But when you open your own drawers, all you find is old receipts and half-finished plans. The emptiness doesn't shout, it doesn't demand, it just occupies space. And the longer it stays, the more you start rearranging your life around it. You keep yourself busy, so you don't have to sit with it. You fill every gap with noise, so the silence can't ask questions. You collect experiences the way other people collect stamps, hoping that if you gather enough of them, the hollow feeling will finally run out of room. But it doesn't. It just waits. Here's where it gets stranger. The more you try to fill the emptiness, the more skilled it becomes at staying empty. New job, new city, new relationship, new hobby, same quiet aftertaste. You start to suspect the problem isn't that your life is missing something, it's that something essential is missing from the way you're living it. And that thought is uncomfortable enough that most people never stay with it long enough to find out what it is. So let's stay with it. Because the real reason you feel empty has almost nothing to do with what's missing from your calendar. It has everything to do with what's missing from your relationship with yourself. Most of us were never taught how to be alone with our own minds without immediately trying to escape. From the moment we could hold a device, we learned that silence is optional, discomfort is optional. Sitting with an unanswered question is optional. We learned that every empty space can and should be filled. So when real emptiness shows up, the kind that isn't fixed by another episode or another purchase or another self-improvement project, we don't know what to do with it. We treat it like a system error, something to be patched, something to be optimized away. But emptiness isn't a glitch, it's a signal. A very old, very precise signal that something important has been ignored for too long. Think about the last time you felt truly full, not entertained, not distracted, not temporarily high on achievement or attention, full. Most people have to dig years back to find that memory. Maybe it was a conversation that went past midnight and didn't feel like work. Maybe it was a project you lost track of inside. Maybe it was a moment of being useful in a way that had nothing to do with your resume. Notice what those moments have in common. They weren't about collecting, they were about connecting to something, to someone, to a version of yourself that wasn't performing. Modern life is engineered to keep you in collection mode. Collect followers, collect experiences, collect status, collect evidence that you're doing okay. And the more you collect, the less room there is for the quieter kinds of meaning that actually nourish a human nervous system. You're not empty because you lack things. You're empty because you've been trained to feed yourself the wrong things. Dopamine is cheap, meaning is expensive, and most of us have been living on the cheap version for so long that the expensive one feels almost foreign. There's a psychological term for this, but you don't need the term. You already know the feeling. It's the difference between eating candy and eating a real meal. One spikes, one sustains. You've been living on spikes, and your system is finally telling you it's starving. Here's the part that usually gets left out of the conversation. The emptiness isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to return it to you. It's the part of you that still remembers what it felt like to care about something without calculating the return on investment. The part that still knows the difference between being busy and being alive. Most people spend years trying to silence that signal. They medicate it, they distract it, they shame it into submission, and the signal just gets quieter and more persistent at the same time, until one day it stops asking politely. That's usually when people finally look up and realize they've built an entire life around avoiding the exact feeling that was trying to save them. So what do you do with it? You stop treating emptiness like an enemy. You start treating it like a compass that only works when you stop running. That means doing something most people find almost unbearable at first. You sit with it. Not forever, not dramatically, just long enough to hear what it's actually saying underneath the noise. You ask better questions than, how do I make this go away? You ask, what have I been avoiding feeling? What version of myself have I been performing instead of inhabiting? Where did I trade depth for safety and call it maturity? These questions don't come with neat answers. They come with discomfort. And that discomfort is the point, because the opposite of emptiness isn't constant happiness. It's contact. Contact with your actual wants. Contact with the parts of life that can't be optimized. Contact with the people who see you when the performance stops. Most of the advice you'll hear about feeling empty is about adding more habits, more goals, more positivity. But the deeper work is usually about subtraction. Subtracting the roles that never fit. Subtracting the obligations you accepted just to feel useful. Subtracting the version of success that was handed to you instead of chosen. When you remove enough of what was never yours, something surprising happens. Space appears. And in that space, the emptiness starts to change shape. It stops being a void. It becomes a room you can finally walk into without flinching. You won't fill it overnight. You weren't meant to. But you'll start recognizing the difference between a life that looks full and a life that actually is. You'll notice when you're performing versus when you're present. You'll catch yourself reaching for the cheap version of connection and choose the slower one instead. You'll stop measuring your days by how much you produced and start measuring them by how much of yourself you actually brought to them. That shift is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with a certificate. But over time, the hollow feeling loses its grip. Not because you fixed yourself, because you finally stopped abandoning the parts of yourself that needed you most. The next time the emptiness shows up, and it will, you won't have to scramble for a distraction. You'll know what it is. Not a failure, not a diagnosis, not proof that something is wrong with you. Just a reminder that you are still here, still capable of wanting more than surface-level living, still able to choose contact over collection. Most people will spend their whole lives running from that reminder. You don't have to. The emptiness was never the problem. It was the only part of you that refused to pretend everything was fine.